Lewis, wow, what an ending. How's your heart after that?
Yeah, unbelievable ending. Sometimes you've got to win a football game like that. We weren't at our best today, nowhere near it, and we ground out against the top side and got the win.
And you were really busy at both ends of the pitch. Let's talk about your goal. Be honest, did you mean it?
Of course I didn't. It just hit me, but I needed one of them. I ain't scored in a long time, so yeah, it was nice to get one.
And defensively, how much were you pushed today? Because you really had to work hard against Liverpool to keep them out.
Yeah, they're top players, top strikers, and they're always going to cause problems. I think, especially after the way, 15 days ago, they come here and we were very good against them and beat them, however many, what, it was 4-1 or whatever. So yeah, we were always going to come back here and want to beat us, and yeah, we had to dig in, fight, and we showed again what great character we got.
Yeah, it was a 3-0 win. Did you feel as though he had a point to prove, same again, we can still beat, well, you've knocked out the holders?
Yeah, we feel like we can beat anyone on our best days, and we showed here that we can beat teams on our not so good days. So yeah, we've got everything in our squad to keep pushing on, and hopefully we can keep going further in this competition.
And just a word on Kaoru Mitoma, 4 goals in his last 6 games. How much of an asset is it having him in the side?
It's nice. It's nice to have him in our side. I'm glad I'm not chasing him. He's a top player and he's come out from nowhere. And yeah, we're just lucky to have him on our team at the moment. So hopefully we can keep him for a long time and he keeps producing stuff like that.
And you've knocked out the holders, Liverpool. So this must be a competition that you feel as though you can win now.
Well, we'll see. We're game by game, keep going in, see which draw we get, and then get ready for that.
Lewis, congratulations. You are the Emirates FA Cup Player of the Match. Congrats.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, I thought Mitoma might be in that interview, but I imagine Brighton are probably going to hide him now from the preying clubs that are going to be looking at this team thinking we want to pilfer someone from that. Wow, what a performance. Ken, how special was that for you? Yeah,
it was good. I mean, it was all about the ending, really, wasn't it? I feel as though Liverpool were probably the better team. Second half, they got away with a couple of dodgy VAR decisions, I must admit. But the substitutes, they seemed to lose their way when they made the main substitutes, and then off the back of that, Brighton finished very, very strongly. We will look at a few of those decisions that you're talking about, but first of all, I want to show you the Mitoma goal and how special it was. Talk me through the skill that he manages to keep hold of the ball and put it in the back of the net. Yeah, well, I mean, it's a well-worked. You can see Joe Veltman blocking for Estepinian at the back stick. He obviously gets the ball down. He just fills it back in. But again, Undav blocking for Mitoma to take the ball down. But to have the awareness to be able to cut back inside and volley it so high up, because if he lets it drop any further, some Liverpool players, well, I think it's actually Núñez is going to block the ball. So he takes it high up, and it's a brilliant finish. And it was a good end to a thoroughly enjoyable game. He deserved that, Karen, because he's actually been so involved and so positive for Brighton today.
I have to disagree with Ali McCoy. I thought he was the player of the match, Mitoma, to be honest. I thought, look, football's defined by match winners, and he was that from the first kick of the game in a 1v1 against Trent. They brought Milner on because they needed to deal with him. And then that double touch, like Glenn was saying, to move the ball and that such a high volley position, and then to score it in the moments. But he was outstanding. He was the match winner today, for sure.
Let's look at some of those decisions that you're talking about. So this first one, they didn't turn out to matter too much because they got the winning goal in the end, but at the time, could have been quite significant. This first one that we want to show you, so Konate is already on a yellow card for this one. It's a foul on McAllister. What did you make of this? I think it's a foul, but again, it boils down to the termination of the rules of the game and the way we use VAR. Because it's not in the penalty area, they can't go back and assess it. But for me, that's a match-changing incident, so it needs to be reviewed. This one is off for Fabinho, so look at the look on his face. He thinks, I'm off, surely? Well, sometimes referees just go and look at the offending player, and you'd know then that would be a red card. He knows. It's late. It's really... It's a horrible challenge, and I feel for Ferguson, but he knows that he should have been sent off there. I can't understand how the VAR referee, Neil Swarbrick, can say that isn't a red. It's a terrible challenge, and even you can see from the player's reaction, he knows it's a red. He's just waiting to be sent off, and somehow he remains on the field. And that's just me, sorry, as a professional footballer, not as a Brighton ex-player. Yeah, not being biased. You're just looking at the situation. Yeah. David Coote booked him originally. It wasn't overturned. They stayed with the on-field decision. What next now for Liverpool? Because this was a moment today. This was a chance to stay in the FA Cup, defend their title. They're out of that now. Champions League they are still in. Perhaps top 4 in the Premier League they can work towards. What do you think, Karen? Well, Champions League against Real Madrid. You've got Merseyside derby coming up as well. It's a big month for them, on many fronts. But
I thought second half, like Glenn said, the energy dropped off. I thought first half, when they're against the counter-attack, they looked okay. But they're just a million miles away from where they were. Energy and confidence as well. But it might have to be one step back and reset and go 2 steps forward next season, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, they controlled that second half. They looked good. They just lacked that end product, didn't they? Salah got in behind on a number of occasions throughout the game, and just they weren't clinical, and they didn't score like we're so used to seeing them doing at those pivotal moments in games. OK, guys, we're going to get more reaction from Shanahan.
Andy, a really tough one to take out for the Cup. How do you reflect on that?
Yeah, obviously, bitterly disappointing. I thought it was a kind of proper cup tie, end to end. I thought both teams had chances. We were a lot more competitive than where we were 2 weeks ago against them, but that didn't take much. We were nowhere near good enough 2 weeks ago, and I thought today slightly better. We had some chances, a wee bit more compact and things like that. But at the end of the day, we're going out the cup, and that's hard to take when you're at a club like Liverpool. The fans and everyone expect us to go far in these competitions, and we've not managed it. And when obviously it's the last minute and last kick of the ball, it's it's so disappointing.
It's a difficult time for the club, obviously now out of the Cup as the holders. So what's the biggest thing that needs to be fixed at the moment? Yeah,
we need to start winning games. It's easy to say, but it's harder to fix, and that's proven that way. This season's been nowhere near good enough. At the turn of the year, we kind of wanted a new start and trying. It's definitely not got off to that. We've probably been worse. In the league, we've not been anywhere near good enough. We've been out the League Cup against Man City, which was a tough game, and obviously was settled by 1 goal. And then today, again, out both cups. So, really disappointing. You can't put your finger on one thing that's went wrong. It's more than that, and it's about trying to put a performance together where all these things click, and that's proven difficult just now. You can tell we're not as confident in front of goal. You can tell, defensively we're still a wee bit open in certain areas, and we have to close that over, and we have to, obviously we're on the back of 2 clean sheets, which was positive, but then today, two disappointing goals. They had a couple of big chances as well. So, yeah, we need to try and get the confidence back. It's easier said than done, and yeah, that's the only way we can pick up results. You have to be able to score goals, and you have to be able to keep clean sheets. It's the only way you win games, and we're not managing that just now, and we need to do it quick. But we keep saying that, and it doesn't help the fans. I feel sorry for them, obviously, the way we're putting on a show just now for them. The behind the goal was packed today. The fans were unbelievable, and yeah, we let them down again, and we're obviously disappointed to be falling out of the cup.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Piper.
OK, obviously very disappointed. First time as Liverpool captain as well. They've got Wolves on Saturday. They've got the Merseyside derby at Anfield the week after that. It's not a very easy run of fixtures for Liverpool. How do they pull themselves back together?
Listen, it's going to be difficult, and it's going to be, like you say, pulling together and as a collective. Listen, I feel as though he spoke really well there, but the one positive for me for Liverpool was Gakpo. I thought he was good on the afternoon.
I just thought it was a really honest assessment, and sometimes when players come out and they're that honest, they just got to go again and find a way. It's the toughest thing when you're that low, but you've got to find a way.
Excellent. Guys, thank you so much for your company. Wonderful. Congratulations to Brighton as well. Big